Bank of America just put an official price target on silver. Their maximum prediction for 2026 is $309. That is not a rumor, not a blog post. This came directly from Bank of America's official head of metals research, and their minimum target, $135. Still almost double from where silver sits today, $135 to $309. That is the official Bank of America silver forecast range for 2026. But here is what makes this prediction different from every other bank forecast you have heard before. This prediction did not come randomly. It came right after China made the most shocking silver move in modern history. China just imported 836 tons of silver in a single month, the highest import number ever recorded. 836 tons in 1 month. That number is 173% above the 10-year average. Let that sink in. The world's biggest silver consumer suddenly needed so much silver, they broke every historical record. Why? 2 reasons. Chinese retail investors were panic buying silver bars as gold became too expensive for regular people, and Chinese solar manufacturers were front-loading silver inventory before a major government deadline hit on April 1st. 2 completely different buyers, both buying at the same time, both buying physical silver at levels never seen before. And right after this happened, Bank of America dropped their $309 silver target publicly. Coincidence? I do not think so. The smart money saw what China was doing and immediately updated their entire silver outlook. But here's what the mainstream media is completely ignoring. This is not the first time silver surprised everyone this year. Go back to January 2026. Silver was sitting quietly around $80. Nobody was paying attention. Then, in just 4 days, silver exploded from $80 all the way to $121. $121, a new all-time high. Every single bank prediction was completely destroyed in days. Silver did not ask for permission. It did not wait for analysts. It just moved. Fast, violent, unstoppable. And now we have China breaking all-time import records. Bank of America predicting $309 officially, plus a 6-year supply deficit that has drained over 762 million ounces from global inventories permanently. 6 consecutive years. Silver demand has beaten silver supply every single year since 2021, without exception. So the real question is not whether Bank of America is right or wrong about $309. The real question is, what if silver has already decided, and $309 is just the starting point, right? Now, I know exactly what you are thinking right now. If all of this is true, why is silver still stuck at $75? That is the most important question in the entire silver market right now, and almost nobody is giving you the real answer. I am going to show you exactly what is holding silver down right now, and why that control cannot last much longer. But before I show you that, I need to show you something that happened inside the silver market just last week, something that the mainstream financial media completely missed. And it changes everything about where silver goes next. I will show you that in just 60 seconds. But first you need to understand the bigger picture of what is happening, because this silver setup is not random. It has been building for 6 years, and it is now reaching a breaking point. Think about this. Every single year since 2021, the world has used more silver than it has produced. Year 1, deficit. Year 2, deficit. Year 3, deficit. Year 4, deficit. Year 5, deficit. Year 6, still deficit. 762 million ounces have permanently left the global silver supply since this deficit cycle began. That is not sitting in a warehouse somewhere. That silver is gone, consumed by solar panels, electronics, electric vehicles, forever. And here is what most silver investors completely miss. When silver gets consumed industrially, it almost never comes back. Gold gets recycled. Gold comes back into the market. Silver gets destroyed in manufacturing. It disappears from circulation permanently. So while paper markets are keeping price at 75, the actual physical silver supply is quietly disappearing every single day. COMEX registered silver inventory has dropped 75% since 2020. 75%. Think about that. At the current pace of withdrawals from COMEX, registered silver could be completely exhausted in just 131 days. 131 days. That is not years away. That is not decades away. That is happening right now. And remember, this is all happening while China is importing silver at 173% above normal levels. So you have shrinking supply, record Chinese demand, a 6-year deficit, and Bank of America saying $309. These 4 forces have never aligned like this before in silver market history. Not even close to this combination. Now remember I told you something happened inside the silver market last week that nobody in media caught. I'm about to show you exactly what that signal was and why it could be the most important silver data point of 2026, because when you see this signal, you will understand why the gap between $75 and $309 is closing. Stay with me, because what comes next in this video is the part that most silver investors never get to see. If you are holding physical silver right now, this next part of the video is specifically and directly for you, because most people watching silver price at $75 think the market is telling them the truth right now. It is not. And I am going to prove it to you right now with numbers that are completely publicly available to anyone. Here is something most people do not know. Silver does not trade like gold. Silver trades through a paper contract system, and that paper system allows traders to sell silver that does not physically exist. On paper only. No metal required. At its peak, the ratio of paper silver to physical silver reached 356 to 1. 356. That means for every 1 ounce of real silver, 356 paper claims exist saying they own that same ounce. Most of those people never ask for delivery. They just trade paper back and forth, and that keeps the price artificially controlled. But here's what changes everything. What happens when too many people ask for real physical delivery at the same time? The system cannot handle it, because the physical metal is simply not there in sufficient quantities to cover all paper claims. We already saw a preview of this in January, when delivery demand spiked. Silver went from 80 to 121 in days. That was just a preview, a small taste, and it still moved $41 in 4 days. Now imagine the real event. Now here's the part that most silver investors on YouTube never show you, the exact math behind $309. Bank of America did not pull 309 from nowhere. It comes from something called the gold to silver ratio. Right now, the gold to silver ratio sits at approximately 59 to 1. That means gold is 59 times more expensive than silver. Historically, this ratio has compressed dramatically during silver bull markets. In 2011, it dropped all the way to 32 to 1. If the ratio simply returns to that 2011 low of 32 to 1, with gold at $5,000, silver hits $135 just from returning to a ratio we already saw 15 years ago. That is the conservative case. Now here is where it gets truly explosive. In 1980, during the Hunt Brothers silver squeeze, the ratio hit 14 to 1. 14 to 1. If that extreme ratio returns today, with gold at $5,000, silver mathematically hits 309. That is not speculation, that is pure mathematics. The same math that has played out in silver markets twice before in history. And here is the part that should make every silver stacker sit up straight. Silver already hit 121 in January this year. $121 happened before the China import shock, before the BOFE prediction, before the COMEX drain accelerated. So if silver hit 121 before all these catalysts aligned, what price does it reach when they all fire simultaneously? Now, I promised you something earlier. I told you something happened inside the silver market last week nobody caught. This is it. Last week, COMEX silver lease rates spiked suddenly, and that specific signal has only appeared 3 times in history. The first time this signal appeared was 1980, right before silver went parabolic during the Hunt Brothers squeeze. The second time was 2011, right before silver tripled from $30 to almost $50 in months. The third time was October 2025, lease rates spiked, and silver went from $40 to $121 in months. And last week, this exact same lease rate signal appeared for the 4th time, right now, as silver sits at $75, 3 for 3 historically, every single time this signal fired. Silver made a massive explosive move shortly after. Now it has appeared for a 4th time. With China demand at record highs, with COMEX inventory at historic lows, with a 6-year supply deficit, with Bank of America officially targeting $309 for 2026. I have been wrong before, every analyst has, but right now the data is not giving me a bearish signal, not even slightly. What I am about to show you next are the 3 exact price levels you need to watch, and what happens at each one, because these 3 levels will tell you everything about whether this move is real or just another fake breakout attempt. Before I show you these 3 price levels, I want you to do something right now. Grab a pen, write these down, because these are not random numbers. These are the exact levels that will confirm or deny the entire $309 move. Level 1, $82. This is the first confirmation. If silver closes above 82, the move has officially begun. Write that down, $82. Silver closing above 82 on volume is your first signal this is real. Level 2, $91. This is where the short sellers start panicking. This is where the squeeze actually begins. Once silver hits 91, the paper market loses control. Every short position becomes a ticking time bomb instantly. Now, before I give you level 3, I need to show you the bear case first, because this move could completely fail. I know most YouTube channels only show you the bull case. I am going to show you both, because that is what smart investors need. Bear case number 1, if the Iran ceasefire becomes permanent, safe haven demand collapses, silver could drop back to $65. Bear case number 2, if the US dollar strengthens significantly, commodity prices including silver face serious downward pressure. Bear case number 3, if Chinese industrial demand slows further, the deficit narrative weakens, price stays suppressed longer. Those are the 3 real risks. And any serious silver investor needs to know them. Now here is why I am still bullish despite all 3. Because while retail investors are watching bear cases, smart money is doing something very specific right now with silver. JP Morgan, the same bank that once controlled COMEX silver, has been quietly accumulating physical silver for 18 straight months. 18 months of quiet accumulation, while price stayed suppressed, while retail investors were distracted by bear case headlines. And last week, JP Morgan issued the largest single-day silver delivery notice in COMEX history, $1.2 billion worth. $1.2 billion of physical silver, pulled from COMEX in a single day. That is not a normal trade. That is a statement. When the smartest money on Wall Street pulls $1.2 billion in physical silver, they are telling you something without words. Now here are the 3 events coming in the next 30 days that will decide everything for silver price direction. Event 1, the Federal Reserve interest rate decision. If Fed signals rate cuts, silver gets an immediate explosive tailwind. Event 2, the next COMEX silver inventory report. If registered inventory drops below 80 million ounces, that is the alarm. Event 3, China April import data release. If April numbers match or exceed March's 836 tons, game over. 3 events, 30 days. If even 2 of these 3 fire together, the signal confirmation is complete. The move begins, and right now, as I record this video, Event 2 is already dangerously close to triggering. COMEX is at 86 million ounces. Before I give you level 3, I want to be completely honest with you about something personal for just one moment. I am not just analyzing silver from the outside. I hold physical silver myself, everything I just showed you. I am acting on personally. I have skin in this game, which means I have every reason to be honest with you, both about the bull case and the bear case. Now, I promised you 3 price levels. I gave you 82. I gave you 91. Here is level 3. Are you ready? Level 3, $108. This is the point of no return. Above 108, 309 becomes inevitable. Why 108? Because that level breaks every major resistance going back 15 years. There is nothing above it until 300. Write that down. 82, 91, 108. These are your 3 confirmation levels for the 309 move. Now, I want to hear from you directly because this community is what makes this channel different from every other silver channel. Simple question right now in the comment section. Type bank if you think Bank of America is right about $309. Or type market if you think the market is right and silver stays suppressed below $100 for the rest of 2026. Bank versus market. Drop your answer below right now. I'm going to personally read every single comment on this video. And if you have a specific silver question, drop it below right now. I will personally answer as many as I possibly can today. Now here is something I need to tell you. Most people who watch this video will do absolutely nothing with this information. They will watch, they will understand, and then they will wait for someone else to confirm what they already know is coming by the time confirmation arrives. The move from 75 to 108 will already be completely finished. The investors who acted before January's move from 80 to 121, they did not wait for confirmation. They watched the signals. You now have the same signals, the same data, the same 3 price levels. What you do with this information, that is entirely your decision. If you want to stay ahead of the next move, not react to it, hit subscribe right now, because what comes next is even bigger. Because in my next video, I am going to reveal exactly which silver mining stocks JP Morgan has been quietly accumulating for 18 months, the specific stocks, the specific positions, and exactly why these particular mining companies could move before silver itself does. That video goes live in 48 hours. If you are not subscribed, you will completely miss the most important part of this story. Hit the subscribe button right now, hit the bell, because this silver story is just getting started. The biggest chapter is coming. And one last thing, if you want to understand exactly how the Hunt brothers nearly broke the entire silver market in 1980, and why 2026 looks identical to that setup, watch this video right now. The parallel will shock you completely.